They say success is the best revenge. Heard they was sleeping again, say it no more.
Welcome back to Market Experts Trading. Today we're diving deep into a crucial topic within our trading psychology series: why it often feels like you end up doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. If you've ever wondered why your best laid plans go awry in the heat of the moment, this video is for you. We're going to explore the emotional and psychological factors that play a significant role in trading decisions, often leading us to make mistakes precisely when it matters most. We won't be delving too much into charts today, because this discussion is more about understanding the underlying psychological mechanisms that influence our trading behavior. The truth is, the reasons we falter in the moment are often rooted in our emotional responses, particularly fear. You might have a solid trading plan laid out, you know exactly where support is, and you've decided that's where you'll make your move. But when the moment comes to act, something inside you changes. You hesitate, you second-guess yourself, and suddenly the opportunity slips away. In retrospect, you see that your original plan would have been spot on, but in the heat of the moment, you couldn't pull the trigger. Why does this happen? To understand this, we need to take a deep dive into human psychology. The root cause is usually fear. Fear of loss, fear of being wrong, fear of missing out. When you initially set up your trading plan, you're in a logical, analytical state of mind. You're thinking clearly, using technical analysis or whatever tools you prefer to map out a strategy. You're calm, collected, and everything makes sense. But when the moment to act arrives, your emotional state may shift dramatically, and suddenly your logical plan feels shaky. This shift happens because at that crucial moment, fear overrides logic. Let's explore this with a concrete example. Suppose you've identified a key resistance level on a chart and decided that you'll sell if the price reaches that point. You've analyzed the situation thoroughly, and you're confident in your decision. But as the price approaches at your target, you begin to feel uncertain. The market might be moving quickly, perhaps with low volume, and you start to question your plan. Maybe you think, what if the price breaks through this resistance? Maybe I should hold off or even consider buying instead. This internal conflict leads you to abandon your plan, and before you know it, the price hits your target and then reverses, leaving you wishing you had stuck to your original decision. So, why did you deviate from your plan? The answer lies in the emotional state you entered as the market moved. Fear crept in, and with it, your logical thinking went out the window. It's a well-documented fact in psychology that when we experience intense emotions, especially fear, our brain's logical, analytical capabilities diminish. The fear response is a survival mechanism that's deeply ingrained in our biology. When we're scared, our brain shifts into a fight-or-flight mode, prioritizing immediate survival over rational decision-making. This might have been useful for our ancestors facing physical threats, but in the context of trading, it's counterproductive. The moment fear takes over, you stop thinking clearly. The logical plan you created earlier no longer seems relevant because your brain is now focused on avoiding pain, not on sticking to your strategy. This is why it's so common to see traders abandon their plans at the worst possible times. They're not thinking with their rational mind anymore, they're acting on instinct, trying to avoid the emotional pain of a potential loss. But here's the thing. Losing trades are a natural part of trading. No strategy can guarantee a win every time, and this is something that every trader must come to terms with. Accepting this fact can be incredibly liberating because it allows you to approach trading with a mindset that isn't driven by fear. Instead of dreading losses, you can see them as part of the process, a necessary step on the path to long-term success. So, how do you stay in that logical, analytical mindset when the pressure is on? How do you prevent fear from hijacking your decision-making process? The key is to take care of your overall well-being, both physically and mentally, so that you're in the best possible state to trade. For me, this involves maintaining a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, and practicing mindfulness. I've found that when I eat well, particularly sticking to a low-carb diet, I maintain a more stable mood and energy level throughout the day. This helps prevent the blood sugar spikes and crashes that can contribute to emotional instability. Exercise is another critical component. Engaging in regular physical activity, whether it's weightlifting, running, or any other form of exercise, helps to release tension and reduce stress. It's well known that physical exertion triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, which promote a sense of well-being and relaxation. When you're relaxed, you're in a much better position to make rational decisions. Think about it. When are you at your most relaxed? For many people, it's after a good workout. After pushing your body physically, there's often a sense of calm and clarity that follows. This is the state you want to be in when you're making trading decisions. It's much easier to stick to your plan and execute trades with discipline when you're not weighed down by stress or anxiety. Relaxation is the antidote to the fear-based decision-making that often sabotages traders. If you can cultivate a relaxed state of mind, you'll find it much easier to stick to your strategy and avoid those emotional pitfalls that lead to poor decisions. This is why it's so important to develop habits and routines that support your mental and physical well-being. But what about the moments when fear still creeps in despite your best efforts? This is where self-awareness and practice come into play. You need to recognize when you're slipping into an emotional state and take steps to counteract it. For some, this might mean taking a break from the screen, stepping outside for some fresh air, or engaging in a brief meditation to reset your mind. The goal is to bring yourself back to a state of relaxation and rational thinking where you can evaluate the situation objectively and make decisions based on your plan, not your emotions. Over time, as you practice this approach, it will become second nature. You'll find that you're less prone to emotional decision-making and more consistent in following your trading strategy. This consistency is what leads to long-term success in trading. Remember, trading is a game of probabilities and repetition. If you have a sound strategy and you execute it consistently, you will likely be successful over time. The challenge is maintaining that consistency, and that's where managing your emotional state becomes so crucial. This journey is ultimately about getting to know yourself, understanding your triggers, your habits, and your emotional responses. Everyone has their own set of challenges when it comes to trading psychology, and what works for one person might not work for another. For me, activities like physical exertion, meditation, reading, and continuous learning help keep me grounded and in the right mindset for trading. But it's important to find what works for you, whether that's through similar activities or something entirely different. It's also worth noting that our emotional responses are deeply rooted in our biology. Human beings have evolved over millennia to react to threats in certain ways, and these reactions are still with us today, even though the threats we face have changed dramatically. In the past, our ancestors had to be constantly on alert for physical dangers, predators, natural disasters, and other survival threats. These conditions shaped the way our brains developed, particularly the fight-or-flight response that is triggered by fear. Today, we're no longer running from predators, but our brains still react to stress in much the same way. The problem is that the stressors we face now, like trading losses, don't require the same immediate physical response. Yet our bodies and minds still react as if they do. This mismatch can lead to overreactions, where our emotions take control and push us to make decisions that aren't in our best interest. Understanding this can help you put your emotions in perspective. When you feel fear or anxiety creeping in, recognize it for what it is, a biological response that might not be appropriate for the situation. By bringing this awareness to your trading, you can start to separate your emotions from your decision-making process and make more rational choices. In conclusion, the reason you often find yourself doing the wrong thing at the wrong time is largely due to the way fear and other emotions can hijack your logical thinking. The best way to combat this is to take care of your overall well-being, maintain a relaxed state of mind, and cultivate self-awareness so that you can recognize when emotions are starting to interfere with your trading. With practice, you'll find that you're able to stick to your strategy more consistently, leading to better long-term results. I hope this discussion has provided you with valuable insights into the psychological challenges of trading. Remember, the more you understand about yourself and your emotional responses, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the ups and downs of the market. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.